Okay, so just a quick little note before we start the holidays here. Thanksgiving's coming up, and there's a ton of hustle and bustle, and so easy for us to lose sight of joy and having peace. And man, it should be one of the most peaceful times and times of gratitude and calm and time with families, but most of the time it feels more stressful than the rest of the year. So here's kind of one of my go-to things as it comes to the holidays, especially in Thanksgiving, moving in through December. Back in the early days for me, the early times of my career and building a family, you kind of resort to using the end of the year as like a measuring stick of how has this year gone and how well did we do? Am I terrified for the future to come next year, not knowing how it's going to be? And things can be really, really crazy. But the older I got and the older I've become and the more time that I've had, I realized, man, I was operating from an entire mentality and system that was completely corrupt in the way that I was thinking, and just going, man, as a child of God, I have a full abundance. Why am I breaking my hump every single year trying to be a great provider? And it put all the weight on myself. And basically I was playing God subconsciously, not even realizing it. And for so many years, you're in this like kind of like panic that it's up to you. And as a child of God, I'm just, the more you realize that you are born into an inheritance, a child of God, having the blessing, operating in it and from it, it completely transforms everything in terms of the way that you're going to respond and the way that you're going to have an outlook on everything that's happening around you, which then puts you in a place of gratitude. Man, I have an inheritance. I don't have to worry. I don't have to be stressed. He's the provider. He is the one with the provision, not me. You know, Proverbs says, it is the Lord that blesses a man, and the man's hard work can add nothing to it. Man, isn't that true? Man, thankfully, because of his grace, I don't have to strive to earn his love. His gift of grace is free. Costs me nothing, costs him everything. I just have to receive that grace. But beyond that grace, to also acknowledge that as a result of that grace, I get to operate and live from, both of us do, in a freedom and in a peace. Because if you truly are a child of God, a co-heir of Christ, having an inheritance, living in and from the blessing, we shouldn't be tripping ever. We shouldn't be wondering, where's everything going to come? How's it going to happen? When's he going to come through? And bottom line, the Lord has been faithful. He can be trusted. My friend, for you today, can you remember and can you live in and from that blessing to remember? Not only are you loved, but you're going to be okay, that you are taken care of, and he will never leave you nor forsake you. The interesting thing is, when bad things happen or when trials come or whatever, we typically think that we've done something wrong, meaning in terms of or God has left us. I want you to be mindful of this. The blessing, the flow of his love, the flow of his grace isn't on anything that he's done, meaning that he's keeping from us. It could be that we're the one shutting it off by dealing with anxiety, worry, and taking the reins back of trying to live things on our terms and in our way. He is the great provider. And because of that, it makes me on the daily repent, surrender, and to put all that same energy into trusting and believing and knowing that I am in that blessing and that we get to operate from it on a creative level, when it comes to our family, when it comes to our finances, to our friends and our community, and all the initiatives that have been entrusted to us. So I hope this encourages you. Don't buy the hype of all the hustle and the bustle. Live and operate in and from the blessing. And if you're in the blessing of God and receiving that free gift of grace, that's the greatest gift of all time, we have an opportunity to just rest in that. And that is a peace that surpasses all understanding, because your peace is not contingent on circumstances. Your peace is in the Sabbath and in the rest of your Maker. And you have that inside of you. So rest in that. Enjoy that. Know that he's the provider, not you. Don't wear yourself out. Have an incredible, incredible week. Talk to you soon.